Hello everybody, I'm John Rolfe of John Rolfe Auctions, and we have a big sale coming up, a 3-day event on the 10th, 11th and 12th of February. That's a Saturday, Sunday and Monday. And I'm going to take you through some of the lots that have caught mine and others' eyes that I think will be of interest. Starting on my left, with this, it's as you can see, it's a really fine replica of a Dalek character from the Doctor Who series. One of two in the sale. Full size. The best thing about these is the top pops off. You can climb in and go around the living room or around your grandmother's house and scare her half to death. That's the best thing about them, really. Also, they've come in completely privately from a chap who was actually storing them in his mother's living room, and they're both completely here to go. We didn't quite know how to price them, but yeah, they're here to go, and that'll be on the Saturday. 2 full-size Daleks at auction. Moving on, the next lot is a collection of ephemera relating to the famous hardened criminal Reggie Kray. Just as frightening as the Daleks, really. Him and his brother Ronnie, notorious twins who ruled the London gangland scene. Reggie Kray wrote a series of letters from prison to a gentleman named Peter Gerard, and we have the correspondence. This one was from his time at HMP Maidstone. We have a further letter, and that's from HMP Blundeston. We've also got a signed photograph of Reggie there lifting some weights and looking quite hunky. And quite rare, we've got one of his father's business cards. His father was a wardrobe dealer, so it's good to see that someone was getting good on his prices for brown furniture, because I certainly can't. The next lot I'm going to be quite delicate with, lot number 2159, is a document. It's a double-sided 17th century broadside, dated 1690. It's only a little news pamphlet, but it had been of the time when King William and King James's troops were meeting at the Battle of the Boyne. So a really important bit of Irish history. Very rare. I've had book consultants look at this and they've never seen another one. Again, it's coming completely privately, absolutely here to go. Came from a property just round the corner. So we'll see what happens with that one. Okay, moving on to what we hope, but we're never sure, could be the sleeper in this auction. We were lucky enough to have an instruction to clear a big property in Horton, just down the road. The property was called Wooden Hill House, and it's recently sold for, well, millions. But there we go. We didn't get the house. We got some of the items within the house. And at the bottom of a box, what the chaps were unloading upstairs in our new showroom upstairs here, was a collection of miniatures. Again, to the uneducated, untrained eye, these could have been easily discarded. But on closer inspection, instead of being on ivory, which would be very difficult to sell, they're on mother of pearl. And then when one studies the outfits, they were certainly, if not royalty, aristocracy. And then we moved from there to get consultancy, and it turns out they're 18th century. And I've been handling artworks and pictures my whole life, and certainly been doing specialist picture sales for, over 20 years. And these are the finest miniatures I've ever seen. So these miniatures got even more interesting when we looked at the easel on the back, and it says, the property of the late Edward Steinkopf. Edward Steinkopf was a German entrepreneur, very well known in the 19th century for his eclectic collections of art. In his collections include Fra Angelica and J.M.W. Turner. Again, it's come from the property. It's absolutely here to go. We'll see what happens, but it's quite exciting, this one. For some unknown reason, at John Rolfe Auctions over the past 18 months, I think we've sold 3 or 4 singing bird automatons. I personally love them. Perhaps it's my enthusiasm, I don't know. But it's always exciting when one comes in. This one's a bit different. This is the original, it's called Morocco leather case. And when we look inside, it's encased in tortoiseshell, which, as you can imagine, is so fine to work with to house fine horological movements. The lid in silver gilt, and when I press this button, hopefully, some magic will happen. Right, I think we're all going to be incredibly grateful when January's over, aren't we? I mean, it's not just the cold. I think we've all given something up. I memean, I personally thought it'd be a good idea to give up the old hooch and that delicious sweet alcohol. But there we go. No, I think a lot of us have given up chocolates and cakes. So we're developing a corner here just for people who are ready for the February influx of calories. Up the top, we have an original Cadbury's chocolate sign with the Bourneville address on the bottom. Very rare indeed. On top, we have an original Fry's chocolate tabletop confectionery cabinet. These have been reproduced over and over again. This is an original late 19th century with the original almost scalloped glass panel in the front. I personally like the carved and gilt J.S. Fry & Sons Limited to the plinth, as well as the acid etching on the glass. And they are stood on top of a wonderful French granite top patisserie table. So there you go. You can now have your cakes and your chocolates guilt-free throughout February, and you've got my word on that. I mean, I've given up chocolate and I'm fine.